everybody, I am Dr. Sarah Wooten. I am a veterinarian and this is all about cats. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. In this video, we are going to be talking about 5 things that your cat may be trying to tell you. A lot of pet parents are often confused about the behaviors that their cats are exhibiting, and they may misapply certain human tendencies onto their cats when their cats are actually trying to tell them something totally different. So in this video, we're going to go over 5 things that your cat might be trying to tell you, and then solutions to each of those things. So let's get going. Okay, the number one thing I want to talk about is litter box problems and when I say litter box problems, I mean cats that are litter box trained, but for some reason have stopped using their box for urination and defecation. Or they're still using their box, but they're also going someplace else, maybe on your bed or on the bath mat or on your laundry or someplace just completely not where you want them to go. So a lot of people will mistakenly think that their cat is mad at them and that they are doing it out of spite. So they'll make a narrative in their head about something that recently occurred, and then they will apply human emotions and thoughts to the cat and think that the cat is being spiteful and angry at the person, so that's why they're peeing on their laundry. Okay, well, in a human brain, totally makes sense, right? That is how we think. Your cat does not think that way. And so that's actually good news, because it means that your cat is trying to tell you something different. And when a cat stops using their litter box when they have been previously trained and now they're not, whether it's urination or defecation, that cat is trying to tell you, something's wrong, human, please help me. Okay, so anytime your cat does that, it's not that they're spiteful and mad, it's that they need your help. And sometimes it takes a little bit of detective work to find out what's going on. So let's talk about a couple of different causes why a cat would stop using their litter box. Number 1, this one is pretty obvious, but let's start with it. Bladder or urinary tract problems, such as bladder infections or inflammations, bladder stones, or obstruction of the urethra, which is the tube that connects the bladder to the outside, right? So those are often, or sometimes even bladder tumors. So if your cat is having problems with their litter box, one of the first things your vet will always check is the urine. And they may even take an x-ray or an ultrasound of the abdomen to see what's going on with the bladder. So that's number 1. Another common medical cause is problems with the other hole. So problems with inappropriate defecation if the cat's having issues with defecation. And sometimes they can even have problems with urination, but it's a primary defecation problem. So things like colitis, what that is diarrhea that's painful, or constipation, or obstipation, which is severe constipation. We actually made a video about that. You can check that out if you want to learn more. Another common problem is anal sac disease. So if you don't know, now you know that cats have 2 anal glands located on either side of their anus, and those glands can become impacted, they can become infected, they can also grow tumors, and they can abscess and rupture and cause all kinds of issues. So those are a couple of the common problems. Also, another common medical cause is pain or discomfort coming from anywhere in the body, right? And this can include arthritis. So cats are really good at hiding when they are in pain, right? Because in the wild, they're both predator and prey. So it does not evolutionarily make sense to them to show that they are painful, because that makes them an easy target in the wilderness. So when they are hurting, they tend to just hide it. Or sometimes they'll do things like urinate or defecate outside of their litter box because it hurts too much to get in and out, right? Other conditions that are affecting the muscles or the joints or nerves. Sometimes cats that have severe itchy skin disease can even manifest with inappropriate elimination. So if your cat is having issues always make sure that you do get your cat checked out with a vet to make sure there's not an underlying medical cause. There are also behavioral causes for cats to stop using their litter box. Stress or anxiety due to anything can cause them to stop using their litter box. There are a lot of things that will stress a cat out. Other cats in the house, or dogs in the house, or birds in the house, or lizards, and any of those animals, if they're bothering one cat, then that cat may manifest with litter box problems. Or maybe there's changes in the household. Maybe you've recently moved, or you got married, or you had a baby, or you've had some visitors, or maybe you're renovating, or maybe your neighbor's really loud, or that kind of stuff, right? So also, if you have a cat in the neighborhood, a lot of times there will be a cat wandering the neighborhood, usually a male cat, and that cat comes into this territory, which is your house or your yard, and your cat sees that or smells that. That can also cause litter box problems. So sometimes you have to take a little bit of detective work, kind of see your cat's environment through their eyes to try and determine what is causing the problem, if it is stress or anxiety. And you can also talk to your veterinarian about ways to lower your cat's stress and anxiety. Also, bored cats that are really bored, they can also sometimes have problems with litter box. Also, if they have dental pain, that can manifest as litter box problem. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things behaviorally that can cause stress and anxiety. So sometimes you got to do some detective work. Other behavioral causes, maybe they don't like the box itself. Maybe they don't like the location of where it is. Cats like a quiet, moderate, low traffic, warm, has some lighting, but not overly bright or overly dark. They are very picky about where they do their duty. So they don't like the box itself. They don't like the location. Maybe they don't like how often you're cleaning it. Maybe they want you to clean it more often. Maybe they don't like the litter type. Most cats prefer super boring litter, right? Not pretty at all. They prefer fine, sandy, clumping, unscented. Fine, sandy, clumping, unscented. Easy, right? So those are a couple of the behavioral causes. Maybe you have too many cats in one box. Behaviorists will recommend that you give one more box than number of cats. So if you have one cat, 2 boxes. 2 cats, 3 boxes, so on and so forth. Okay? There's also cats can stop using their litter box if they feel like they're too crowded with other cats. If there's too many cats using one box, that can cause a lot of problems. Also, if there's not enough ventilation in the box, that's why those little hoods tend to be preferred by a lot of cats. So those are some of the behavioral causes. So now that you know, if your cat is having issues, you can start doing your own research. You can talk to your veterinarian, and most of the time with the right tools and knowledge, you can figure it out. P.S. Your cat's not necessarily mad at you. They need your help. All right. The number 2 thing that your cat may be trying to tell you if they are having problems with either aggression towards other humans in the house, or you, or other animals, or if they're having litter box problems, is that they are stressed and they are crowded and they need their own stuff and their space. So cats, while they can form very tight social groups, they still need their own space. So remember, in the wild, cats tend to be solitary animals, and they tend to have their own place to go to the bathroom. They tend to have their own place to hunt, and they tend to not integrate very much with other cats, except for feral cat colonies. That's different. But just in general, cats tend to be solitary animals. Then we take these animals and we bring them into the house and we put them face to face with each other, and maybe a dog and maybe a baby and all that stuff. And then we're surprised when they manifest behavioral or medical problems. And it's because they need their own stuff and their own space. So for each cat that you have to make sure that the cat has their own resources. What do I mean by that? I mean their own bedding, their own food and water bowls, their own litter box, their own toys, their own cat tree, all of that stuff, right? They also need to have space to get away from other cats. If you have limited space, then your only option is to go vertical. And that actually works out really well for cats because they like to view their domain from on high. They like to be up high and looking down low. That's why you find them up high. So if you can build shelves or some sort of walkways or high perches where they can get up and rest quietly, then you are less likely to have issues with behavioral or medical causes due to stress. So the number 2 thing that when your cat's just kind of, stressed or whatever, or having problems with their litter box, they need their own stuff and space. I need my own stuff and space. That's what they're trying to tell you. Okay, the number 3 thing that your cat is trying to tell you is that when they eat a lot of food or they're coming up to you and they want you to feed them over and over and over, they're trying to tell you, I'm not actually hungry, human, I'm bored. So remember, we've talked about this a couple of times already in this video. Cats in the wild are always on the move, right? They move a lot around dawn and dusk. They are crepuscular animals. And then they tend to snooze a lot during the day and a lot during the night. But when they're awake, they're moving, they're hunting, they're hiding, they're climbing, they're scratching, they're doing things. And so again, we take these beautiful outdoor hunters and we bring them into the house and we say, here is your bowl of kibble. Here is your bowl of calorie-dense kibble. And here is, maybe a couple things for you to do, right? Well, these cats get bored. And so when they're bored, what they tend to do is eat. That's what we all do when we're bored, right? Cats are no different in this regard. So the problem with the bowl of kibble is they can mow through that in 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. And then what do they do? What are they going to do after that? Well, they kind of wander around, and then they see you and they're like, that's the source of all good, delicious food. I'm going to go meow at that person because I'm bored, right? So when your cat starts to do that, resist the urge to feed them more than they should eat in a day. Obesity is a big problem, no pun intended, in our indoor cat population. Yes, they're living longer because they're not outside getting trauma or infectious disease. Now they're inside and they have chronic disease that's associated with obesity, because obesity itself is an inflammatory condition that predisposes you to a lot of other medical problems. So, standard recommendations for sedentary adult cats, 8 to 10 pounds, no more than 300 to 330 calories per day. And when you think about most pet foods out there, most cat dry kibble, it's like 450 calories, kcalories per cup, right? So you can't feed them very much. And if you feed them just one extra, we all know that adds up over time. So when your cat comes to you and it's like, meow, 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 feed me, resist the urge. Instead, think about different ways to engage your cat mentally. Think about different ways to feed your cat to split it up. There's a lot of different products out there. Some people just take the food and they'll take it one kibble at a time and toss it, right? And then their cat gets to engage in hunting behavior, exercise, mental stimulation, and calorie control. That cat is going to be healthier, live longer, have lower vet bills if you do these things at home. But if you just let the cat just go to town, right, on the food, it's going to get really big. All that to say, when your cat is coming at you and meowing for food, try play instead. Also try breaking up the food, getting additional movement around, look at lower calorie diets, look at alternative ways to feed your cat so that you're not just packing on the pounds and predisposing that cat to problems down the road. The number 4 thing your cat is trying to tell you is, human, my teeth hurt. So dental disease is a big problem in our cat population. And because a lot of cats don't get to the vet as often as they should, or these days you can't even get into the vet, and that's a topic for another video, the dental disease is getting missed. And so these cats are walking around with hidden dental disease, and we're talking about things like periodontal disease, loose teeth, a condition called FORL, feline odontic resorptive lesions. They have a lot of different names, but basically it is a condition that causes the enamel and the dentin to wear away on a cat's tooth. And then that exposes the pulp, and that's where the nerve is. And when that pulp is exposed, if you've ever had this happen to yourself, you know that if you bite down on something, oh, it hurts, right? Well, a cat can't go, oh, it hurts, right? But they can communicate to us in other ways that their face hurts. So different things that can show you that a cat is having dental pain is, the number one is when they make a funny face after they eat something hard or cold. So you may have seen the videos on the internet where somebody lets their cat lick something cold and then the cat literally makes this face, right? And not knowing, we think it's pretty funny, right? When you don't have the knowledge, it's innocent laughter. So I'm not blaming any of these people. But the problem is that cat is in severe pain. They're doing the feline equivalent of, oh, that hurts. And so we need to understand that about our little feline friends, that when they're doing that, that is a cry for help and they need some veterinary attention. Other signs that they may be showing you that their mouth hurts is maybe they don't want to eat dry food anymore. Maybe you notice they're only eating on one side of their mouth, or maybe they're dropping food when they are eating. Those are all very subtle signs that a cat is having dental pain. And remember, these cats, they don't want to show you their disease. So you have to kind of be a detective of their symptoms. So the number 4 thing is the cat is trying to tell you is, oh, my tooth hurts, help me. Okay, so now you know, knowing is half the battle, and what happens next depends on your action. Okay, the number 5 thing your cat does that they're trying to tell you something that is maybe a little bit off is when they eat things that are just kind of weird, right? So when they eat things that are just kind of weird is my 5th sign that your cat's trying to tell you something. It's called Pica. Pica, P-I-C-A, is the official medical term that we use when animals will eat something other than their normal diet and we don't understand why they do it. That can be anything from plastic is a big one that people report, that they're like, my cat is chewing on plastic, what the heck? Or maybe cats that eat a lot of grass and then maybe vomit a lot of grass, or maybe they're eating rocks. Rocks is a big one, or they're eating dirt. Just things other than their normal food. So there's a lot of different reasons. Some are behavioral, such as boredom and stress, right? Boredom and stress can cause cats to just investigate the world with their mouth and eat things. A lot of times hair ties is another thing. Cats will eat phenomenal amounts of hair ties and then it all gets stuck and we have to go in and get it out. So boredom and stress are some of the behavioral reasons why a cat's eating weird stuff. Then there's also medical conditions, things like anemia, which is a low red blood cell count that has a lot of different causes that will cause a cat to want to eat dirt and rocks because they are trying to increase their iron amount. Hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is when the thyroid gland in the cat goes crazy, starts making all this thyroid hormone, and then the cat just wants to eat everything in sight. Okay, that's another cause of pica. Genetics. Some cats genetically are just wired to eat crazy things. Mineral deficiencies. So if the diet isn't balanced, or if the cat has a gut condition that causes them to not be able to absorb the nutrients from their food. Some of the medical causes. Bottom line, if your cat is going to town on stuff they should not be eating, the first thing is get that cat examined by a veterinarian, tell them your concerns, Veterinarian will likely want to run some blood work, do a physical exam, maybe check urine, things like that, and rule out any medical causes before they go to boredom and stress. And then they will talk to you about the magical world of feline environmental enrichment. So that's the number 5 thing. If your cat's eating weird things, something's off, something's out of alignment, you got to figure out what it is. So there you have it. Those are my 5 things that your cat is doing that they're trying to tell you something, right? So if you notice any of these things in your cat, now you have the knowledge necessary to make the changes or help your cat and be able to help that cat be healthier, happier, and live a longer, higher quality life. Thank you so much for watching. I am Dr. Sarah Wooten. If this video has been helpful to you, leave a comment, or if there's something you want me to cover, leave a comment. If there is other things you want to talk about, leave a comment. If you like these videos and they help you be able to have a better, healthier relationship with your cat and take care of your cat better, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That would be cool, because I'll be back with more videos to help you again in the future. Thank you for watching. This is all about cats, and I will see you again soon.